this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts.
This case is an abomination. You know, it's obviously political. 7 years to try to come up with this case. They're just wrong on the law.
The only crime that Donald Trump is being prosecuted for is the crime of running for president.
Political persecution at the highest level.
They've quite frankly given up on trying to beat him at the polls. Either going to steal it or stop it by law firm.
A Democrat prosecutor elected on a Get Trump platform.
This judge, I mean, you don't need a prosecutor if you have a judge like this. This judge is not on the level.
It's a terrible case, but the judge has been pretty much a rubber stamp on everything that Bragg has wanted to do.
I think they have no cards, and they're depending upon Trump getting convicted.
That Trump train doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
The only verdict that matters is the verdict at the ballot box.
Free Trump!
So, Donald Trump has officially been found guilty of all 34 charges of hush money covering up, you know, the whole Stormy Daniels debacle, he said, she said, that whole thing. Wow. I woke up this morning and I immediately turned on my YouTube or my Instagram or whatever social media, and I saw that he was guilty after, I think, like, what was it, like almost 2 days of deliberation? And leading up to that, like while they were deliberating, it was like hashtag not guilty, hashtag guilty, you know, trending on Twitter. And I think, like, because I didn't really follow the trial, like most Americans didn't follow the trial, because most Americans don't actually give a fuck about this trial because there's other things to worry about, like the cost of living. So I didn't really think about actually whether he was going to be found guilty or not. I think, like, my running idea throughout this whole thing was like, this is never going to lead up to anything. He's a cat with 9 lives. He's not going to be found guilty. But then once they were deliberating, I actually started to think, like, yeah, they're going to find him guilty, because I mean, there has been a lot of talk about how biased the judge is, because the judge, I think, has publicly made it known that he does not like Trump, that he wasn't going to get a fair trial because of the jury, because of the bias and whatever have you. I don't know if the trial was rigged, but this definitely was a political stunt. And I think even if you don't like Trump, even if you were hoping that he was guilty, you know in your heart that this is a political stunt. This is a political move. I'm not saying that Trump or anybody or any politician is above the law. However, this is the first time people seem to care about politicians breaking the law, because they do it all the time. They're corrupt as fuck. They commit war crimes, but we've never tried to, you know, make justice matter or the law matter for any other president or president's son, Hunter. For some reason, Donald Trump, this is really, for him, he's not above the law. But for all the other politicians, the corrupt politicians, other presidents, they're all above the law, but not Donald Trump. Anywho, you know how, like, you know something's coming and you kind of have an idea how you might feel about it? Like, I was surprised the emotion I felt when I found out Donald Trump was guilty. For when I first saw it, I kind of like laughed it off, like, oh, okay, of course. But then I really started to think about it, because I don't know what this means. And maybe someone can educate me in the comment section what this means. Like, is he actually going to jail? I guess we have to wait to the hearing for what do they call it, the hearing. You come back and you find out what are your consequences, like how many years you're going to go to jail or probation or time served or whatever. I don't know what this means. If he's actually going to go to jail, America's kind of fucked. The emotion I felt was like, I'm pissed off and I'm really sad for America and for Americans and even other countries. I'm sad that Donald Trump might not be able to run for president. I've never been that type of person that says, like, I've never endorsed the president or any politician. I might have said I like this person, I like their policies, I think this person is better than the other. But for me, endorsing a president or looking at a president as a savior or the answer to things always, to me, seemed a little bit naive and short-sighted, because for the most part, I think that presidents and policies and politics don't really help the average person, especially on a federal level, maybe on a local level. So I've never been that type of person. And even though I've caped or stood up or spoke the truth about Donald Trump, I've never been a MAGA supporter. I've never been a Trump supporter. But I would probably say I would vote for him because he was the best option, or he's been one of the better presidents, even though he's made mistakes. But I've never been like, oh yeah, Trump, rah, rah, rah. I've never been that person. However, a couple days ago, for the very first time, I thought to myself, this wouldn't be happening if Donald Trump was president. And it came to what's going on in the Middle East right now. Okay, I think Donald Trump was the only president we had that brought peace to the Middle East and not a war. And what's going on with the rise of anti-Semitism and these protests and stuff like that, which is going to very much lead into another summer of love. And I thought to myself, this would not be happening if Donald Trump was president. Even the Ukraine and Russia thing, I thought to myself, yeah, this would not be happening if Donald Trump was president. So I think if they take Donald Trump off the ballot as an option and give us some puppet, some layup like Nikki Haley or just Biden or Biden and Cuomo or some shit like that, I think it's going to be a really sad day for America and Americans. And it's just more proof that they don't care about you. They don't care about what you want. Again, most people polled of saying they don't care about this trial. This is the least of their concerns. Yeah. It's going to be bad if Trump isn't able to run for president. Like, the only thing I can see is if he does have to go to jail, that he endorses Ron DeSantis and Vivek and they run together. I think that would be the best option we have. Because if we're fucked, if we get like another 4 years of Biden or Nikki Haley, it won't even be Biden. Will Biden make another fucking 4 years? No. So it would actually be what the fuck is her name? What is our vice president's name? That's how non-important she is. She will really be president, which she won't really be president. It'll be somebody else being president that we never elected. Some non-official, non-elected person be running the country. They love to point out that Donald Trump, fucked up democracy or whatever, went against democracy because he said the election was rigged and he refused to concede, which he did concede eventually because he's not in the White House. And they try to pretend like no other president, no other politicians ever said the election was rigged and, ever contested the results or anything like that. I remember when Bush was running, how many times they recounted the votes because they just refused to concede or admit that Bush won. I forgot what time it was. I forget. I don't know if it was the first time he ran or the second time he ran, but I remember they recounted like 4 or 5 times because they were just like, no, we couldn't have lost, right? And the fact that Hillary Clinton to this day is denying that President Trump won that election fair and square, and other people who are denying that he was ever president, like they just basically want to wipe him off of Wikipedia and pretend he never existed. And I guess like the cope is like, well, Donald Trump caused an insurrection, right? That the tour of people calmly walking, the mostly peaceful protest, calmly walking and doing a tour through the Capitol that they like to deem as an insurrection. We know why they call it that. They're trying to make it seem like Donald Trump is evil and that he caused this, when he literally said, march peacefully, be peacefully, follow the law. He literally said that out of his own mouth, but yeah, he caused it, right? But this right here, not that I think any president is above the law, but this is definitely, feels like to me, election meddling and election tampering, just like the massive mail-in ballots that have never been done in the history of America. The massive mail-in ballots that was proven time and time again to be corrupt, or people who was deceased having ballots come in, and people doing duplicate ballots, and people who were not legal citizens filling out ballots. But let's not talk about that. I think when it sinks in what they might be faced with another 4 years of, I think people are going to make it very known how they feel about this. And I think a lot of you, silent majority, need to really stop being so fucking silent, because that's annoying. And I don't want to hear the whole but I have kids and I have work and I don't want to be disowned and all this stuff. Well, if you want to teach your kids how to be cowards, then that's fine. If you want to continue being a coward, then that's fine. But for me, use your fucking voice, because do you really want another 4 years of this? Ask yourself that question. Do you really want another 4 years of this? I think America would be very fucked and very screwed if we get another 4 years of Biden, or again, whatever puppet politician they'll put in this to run against him, like Nikki Haley or Cuomo or some shit like that, or Michelle Obama, I don't know. Or, oh my God, Hillary Clinton. Oh God. So, yeah, I think this is screwed. Personally, if he doesn't end up going to prison, I think they are going to fight this, by the way. I think they're going to try to get it overturned. I don't know how much time that would take. I mean, I think it's pretty hard to get results overturned, but if he doesn't go to jail, and this is just, something that they can use against him during the campaigns of do you really want to vote for a felon? 34 charges. Oh my God, he's so corrupt. Or Biden will mumble this out during the debates or something like that. Honestly, if he doesn't go to jail, then this was a big waste of time, because all this is going to do is boost his popularity and prove to people that this is just a political stunt And why are they so afraid of Donald Trump? What, like, it can't be the racism, it can't be the sexism, it can't be the homophobia, because nothing happened when he was president. Black people didn't lose their rights, gay people didn't lose their rights, women didn't lose their rights, right? If you want to talk about the abortion thing, that happened under Biden, I believe. So nothing really happened. So if you're not an idiot and you're not easily emotionally manipulated by rage bait or race baiting or anything like that, then that's not going to work. So it's like, why else are you scared of him? Why have you been after him for 6 fucking years? You know why? Because one of Donald Trump's objectives, as if he becomes president again, is that he wants to put term limits on fucking politicians, which would be fucking amazing and is what we need in America. We do not need down with the career politicians. When you say drain the swamp, that's what needs to be done. There needs to be term limits on Congress. There needs to be term limits on Senate, and mayors, whatever. There needs to be term limits, and they don't like that shit. This is really fucked up, and I don't know what this means. I don't know if he's actually gonna go to jail. If he doesn't, then what was the point? You're just gonna make him look like a badass. And honestly, if Donald Trump is smart about it, he needs to lean into this a little bit and kind of like spin it, make it kind of cool, you know, hire some Gen Zer on his social media marketing team and make that happen. Not to a point when it becomes clownfoonery, but you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys think of this whole thing in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support this channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the description box below, and then also in the comment section. And you can also super thanks. That would really help, guys. And you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.
Thank you for joining us here today. Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned by a Manhattan grand jury.